And that's coming from a lady who was completely Clarins obsessed because I got discount, obviously. But once I did actually get her to use the Sonya kit, she saw massive results from that and absolutely loves it. So it's my pleasure to talk you through these tonight. But what I first of all want to stress is how important it is for you to actually not only attend training like this, but the training that the company provides. And I just don't generally think enough people get to those. I understand people have commitments and things like that, but the trainings that our company provide are really actually 5-star. So definitely get to those if you can. I've also got some trainings at the end of this, which I'm going to promote to you to stick in your diary. But also, I really think that getting to grips with products is a really essential part of this business. And again, like I see quite a lot of people posting on the team pages, which there's nothing wrong with that. But really, learning the products is an essential part of this. So if you can, just even try like what I did, learning 3 products a week. Just learn some key ingredients and key benefits for it, and soon your portfolio starts to broaden. But not only that, if you can use the products, I think that really helps you, because I always, without a shadow of a doubt, add 1 product a month onto my order list. And that really helps me to, again, broaden that portfolio to really understand what the benefits are and how they've helped me and how they help family too. So, what is also a massive thing is you need to be quite clever with your business these days, I think. Obviously, weight management's had a 200% increase this year, but we haven't even barely touched the surface on what skincare can offer. And as you'll see when I go through this, there's absolutely tons of potential with the skincare regimes. So really get yourself stuck into these, because you really will have a huge customer base. If you think about how many ladies and guys out there use skincare, you're onto a winner. So the way what I've learned in terms of the products is I took complete responsibility to learn them. So I always, if a customer asks me for a product, and I'm not really sure what that does, I'll learn it, because then it's brilliant for me next time if someone asks me again about the same one, I'll know what I'm talking about. I always attend trainings. Obviously, I've left work now, so I am more free to do that. But I'll just genuinely make an effort to go to trainings as well. But again, like I said, I use the products myself to gain belief. So my whole skincare regime is Forever Living. I don't use any other brands. And my whole makeup bag is Forever Living as well now. So gone are the MAC days, because I'm a product of my product. And I don't believe in going into Boots or Superdrug to buy the skincare, because I don't need to, because I get amazing quality products and I also get them cheaper, and I can also claim VAT back on them. So some skincare products can actually work out really cheap compared to the high street. So what I'm going to do now is paint a picture for you of where we are in terms of skincare. So basically, statistics are with skincare, worldwide, the beauty industry, that's just skincare on its own, not including makeup, is actually worth 300 billion, which is ridiculous amounts of money. It's also predicted to increase to 388 billion by 2017. So we're in the right places, guys, basically. More relevant to the UK, we turn over £8.9 billion annually on beauty each year, and that's just skincare as well. Now, male grooming is actually growing quicker than women's. So when you're recommending products, don't forget to ask about their husbands. Don't also forget to speak to your friends who are male on Facebook, or however else you approach people about the products, because men are very vain these days. So we do need to help them out with their skincare too. But luxury skincare sales actually remained really high, even though we've just been through a period of recession. So it just shows that no matter what's going on, everyone wants to look good and feel good, which is exactly what our business provides. So why has that happened? Well, no matter what's going on, like I've just said, people want to look good and feel good. But not only that, unfortunately, we do live in a really very judgmental world nowadays, and we have to keep up our appearances. So people are more aware of how they look. But skincare, in my opinion, should be a lifestyle choice, just like drinking your drinking gel. Because if you're looking after your skin on the inside, you want to look after your skin on the outside as well. And it's a lot more than just pampering these days. It's actually preventing your skin against damage, which is caused by obviously outside factors and things like free radicals, which I'm going to cover tonight. So what are people looking for within skin? Well, to me and to what I've researched, everyone's looking for anti-aging, believe it or not. Also, what people are looking for is a product that has multiple uses, because people are quite savvy with their money these days. So they're looking for products which are basically going to do quite a few jobs, not just one, which I think Forever Living massively do. They're looking for something to simplify the process of beauty, so something that's quite quick, because not a lot of people have time either. They're also looking for a low price point. Again, I think one of our prices are the lowest in terms of a luxury skincare brand. They're looking for good quality ingredients. We can tick the list with that. And they're looking for a luxury brand, which I definitely think we are. So that's what we can offer people with our brand. But what we can also offer them, don't forget, is a 60-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Now, when I work for Clarins, if I'd used my whole jar of cream up and I took it back to my counter, I would have very politely been told to go away. Whereas with us, we offer that. So for the likes of me who had acne, or for the likes of other people who've got skin problems, they can really use our products. And if they don't benefit them or clear up their concern, then they have that to back them up. We also have Aloe Science Council. So we know that the products we're recommending is of the highest quality. We're animal cruelty free, as you know, so very good for vegetarians, vegans, which a lot of people seem to be these days. So promote that into your customers as well, because we can offer that. We're obviously halal, kosher and Islamic friendly too. So when we're talking to our global friends around the world, we know that our skincare covers that too, which is absolutely phenomenal. Not many companies out there on the high street or luxury leading brands will offer any of those stamps of approval. So that in itself is what we call a unique selling point, which I'm going to cover quite a lot tonight. So obviously I need to explain what skin is first. So skin is the largest organ in the body. It covers the inside and the outside of us. It's broken down into three main layers. The top layer is the layer we can see if we were to physically look down now, and that is called the epidermis. The layer below that is called the dermis, which is broken down into 8 different layers. So basically, you'll hear me talking that our products do go down 8 layers deep later on. The bottom layer is called the hypodermis, and that is where your fatty layer is stored, and that's basically what keeps us nice and warm and toasty when it's cold, or also cools us down when we're too hot. Now, the skin's got a couple of different main purposes. So it helps to protect us and our organs and creates a waterproof barrier. It also controls heat, it's both hot and cold, like I've just mentioned. It's a defense for us, so it protects us against the elements. And obviously we get to touch, feel, smell, taste, and all those different things through our skin, which is obviously a sensory organ. But what it's really good for as well is absorbing vitamin D, which is an essential vitamin that we do need to function. So it's brilliant for that too. So what does Forever's aloe do on the skin? Not just aloe vera in general, but what does our aloe do? Well, these are unique selling points, and if you want to write all these down, I definitely would, because when somebody asks you what is the difference between the high street and what you guys have, well, these are the differences. So number one, everybody knows that we have a patented stabilization process. Now, what that means is we basically have aloe that's living inside of our products, and it's exactly the same state as it was when it was inside of the green rind. So we actually keep the aloe alive inside of all of our products. Therefore, it's really active when it's on the skin. The second thing is, which I find absolutely amazing, is that it's an adaptogen. So all of our products that I'm going to go through tonight, it suits every single skin type. So I even learned this from researching, because I was under the impression that certain creams were brilliant for certain skin types. Well, actually, that's not true, because aloe vera adapts to every single skin type. So don't be worried about dry, oily, blemish prone, things like that. It'll all do the same job. It actually doesn't even matter how old the skin is either. So yes, young people can use the Sonya range as well, which I'm completely gobsmacked about, but it's true. All people can use it no matter what skin type they've got, which I've just said. It doesn't matter what condition of the skin they've got either. And it doesn't matter where in the world or what environment the skin is under. Everyone can use the products no matter what that is. Now, the other thing is it soothes the skin against irritations. So that may be a massive selling point for you. It's also a natural anti-inflammatory. Funny enough, aloe has the same pH as the skin, so actually balances your skin, which is a phenomenal selling point. It heals your skin quicker. It also helps against fungal infections, viral infections, and bacterial infections. And it's antipyretic, which basically means it gets rid of itching or reduces symptoms of itching. And then it's also antipyretic, which means that it reduces heat. So that's why it's so good for sunburn, because it takes the heat out of your skin. Don't worry if you haven't written all of those down, because this is recorded, but I am going to have to move on. So what actually happens when you put aloe onto the skin? Well, it's a really clever plant, because basically it doesn't just take the aloe down into the lower layers of the skin. What it actually does is takes all of the ingredients down with it. So it's kind of like a carrier. So if you imagine aloe as being a shopping bag and all of the ingredients being inside, it basically pulls the shopping bag right to the bottom of the layers of your skin, called the dermis. Now, your dermis is where all of your brand new skin cells are created, and they lie dormant in there and then go on a journey of around 21 to 28 days. And that's when they reach the epidermis, which is the top layer of skin. So when you're telling your customers about these products, make sure that they've used them for at least 21 to 28 days. And that's when they should then be seeing the differences. Now, because it carries all of the nutrition to the bottom layers of the skin, it then therefore feeds the skin. So it gives it loads of lovely nutrition. And what it actually does is it strengthens the skin. So it increases your collagen and your elastin too, which is absolutely fab, because that's what makes us age. So basically, what I found out is that aloe is actually the only known substance which can penetrate to the dermis layer. So if anything, that is the number one reason why someone should use our skincare products, because it's the only thing that will penetrate so deep, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I wish I'd known about it earlier, to be honest. So what I'm going to cover now is our Sonya range. So the Sonya range is absolutely amazing. It's a 6-piece step product range. So we do recommend that all customers use all 6 steps, and I'm going to explain why in a bit more detail. Now, when you're recommending this product range to people, make sure that you're using the correct terminology to them. So don't offend people by saying, yeah, you need this because you've got wrinkles. Basically, say things like, this skincare range will firm your skin. It's also great for anti-aging. And that's really a polite way of saying it, but also telling the person what it does. So obviously I've mentioned that we mainly use aloe vera as our main ingredient, but what we pop in there as well are some extra fabulous ingredients. And the first one of those is white tea. Now, you've all probably heard of green tea. So green tea is massively powerful in antioxidants, but white tea is even more so. So what this does is it basically helps to protect us against what we call free radicals. Now, free radicals are basically things that affect us in our outside environment. So things like pollution, sunlight. So that's what the white tea is doing inside of the Sonya range. It's basically also making the immune system of the skin function properly. So it's protecting us against UVA, which are the aging rays that the sun gives us, but also UVB rays, which are the burning rays that the sun provides us with. It's also massively anti-aging. and also builds up a resistance against stresses that cause us to age as well. So you can imagine how actually powerful white tea is in that Sonya range. The next one that we have is mimosa bark. Now, mimosa bark, funny enough, was actually used in a mass gas explosion in Mexico in 1984. So basically, they did a study where 3,000 people were treated with mimosa bark, and actually, they had a 60-degree burn. And within 21 days, their burns were massively healed compared to the people that didn't use it. So you can see how it's such a healing property or a healing plant, and that's why we put it into the Sonya range. Now, what it also does is it protects the skin from aging because it contains flavonoids. Don't worry about what flavonoids are, just remember that it basically protects your skin from aging. It also fights the free radicals, so that's a double helping of that. And you've got tannins, which promote the smoothness of your skin, so helping to keep the surface of your skin nice and smooth and not bumpy. What it's also got in it is micronutrients, packed full of them actually. So some including zinc, copper, magnesium, which basically help to repair and protect your cells, which is great because that's what happens. Our skin cells get damaged, so we definitely need things like that to help them. But last of all, it's actually very heavily antibacterial. So if you've got any skin issues, which are maybe like a bacterial infection, or if you've got maybe quite a cluster of spots or blemishes, this will really help to clear it up, which is fab. So the next thing we've got, which is quite cleverly, is arginine. So you'll recognise arginine from our RG Plus drink. RG is basically an amino acid, and it's an essential building block for your skin to function correctly. Now, the reason why we pop this in, this is actually in one of the products in particular, which you'll probably understand in a second, but it's a gentle and natural exfoliator, which helps to just brighten and clarify the skin. So this is going to give the person massive amounts of radiance, basically, which is something that ladies of about the age of 25 plus actually suffer from quite dull skin. So this is going to help to brighten it up nice and bright. It also, because of the exfoliation, helps to actually increase cell turnover. And it works because we basically team the RG with lemons. So basically, lemons are massively helpful for increasing cell turnover. What it also does is helps to firm the skin, which is something that ladies are always looking for, like I mentioned, anti-aging. And it also helps to reduce hyperpigmentation. Now, what that means is it helps to reduce dark spots. So dark spots are caused by sunlight. So you'll find that a lot of ladies in the older generations suffer from dark spots. You maybe see them on people's hands, but then they more so come on the face later on. So that is brilliant, a brilliant selling point for people because that's what they're always looking for. Last of all, because it contains the RG, it's also perfect to recommend for sensitive skin. And this is because the amino acids and obviously the aloe in there, they're an adaptogen, so they adapt to whatever the skin's going through. So whether that's oily, whether that's dry, whether that's sensitive, it basically one fits all skin types, which is great. So basically, we have a 6-step process with the Sonya range. So step number 1 is a cleanser. So you would actually use the cleanser both AM and PM, and you would just simply apply this to damp skin. And all you would do is moisturize it into the skin for about a minute. And then you would use either damp cotton wool pads or a muslin cloth or just something like that to basically wipe away the cleanser. And what that'll do is that'll take off all of your makeup and also remove dead skin cells and pollution and dirt that's built up during the day. It's always important to mention that you should always cleanse your face on a morning because you probably sweat during the night, and that can also block your pores. So you do want to make sure that your skin's nice and clear. The second step is to exfoliate. So by exfoliating, you're basically removing dead skin cells. By doing that, that then therefore means that your product, such as your day cream or night cream, is actually being absorbed way more better than if you've got dead skin cells there, because it's basically feeding the new skin. Now, for girls, we recommend that you use this 2 to 3 times a week, but guys actually need to use this way more. They need to use this every single day. And that is basically because they shave, so they're more prone to ingrowing hairs. So the third step is to tone. Now, what toning does is it rehydrates the skin. It's also a secondary cleanser, so it takes away the remaining dirt and grime, but it also helps to reduce pore size. Now, when people say that they want to close their pores up, that will never happen because the skin needs to breathe. So it helps to reduce pore size, but will never close it. But what it basically does is it refreshes the skin, so it makes it feel nice and clean and squeaky. The fourth step is to hydrate and protect, and you're going to do this using your Sonya serum. What I've massively been shocked at is that the serum is actually the moisturizer within this skincare range, which may be of shock to you as well. But basically, the serum is such a fine moleculed product that it's basically going to sink to the bottom layer of the skin even quicker than what a moisturizer could. Now, basically, this is full of antioxidants, this one. Guys can actually shave with it, which I found amazing, but women can actually use it as a hair serum too. And what you can do is pop it on the backs of your hands, which will help you to prevent the dark spots that I mentioned on there too, which is great. So the fifth step is to rebalance the skin and to brighten the skin. Now, basically, this is our balance and treatment cream. And the reason why you would use this is basically it will remove your dead skin cells. Now, you would only use this cream on the days when you're not exfoliating, because you don't want to doubly exfoliate, because that would be too many dead skin cells coming off your face, really. So you do want to just use that on the days when you're not using the exfoliating scrub. So the balancing cream is not actually a moisturiser. You would have to use that alongside the serum to actually get enough moisture in your skin, which I found really interesting. So basically, the last step, but not least, is to repair and replenish. So that's using our deep nourishing cream, and that one is basically what you would use as a night cream, because it's much more rich, but it's also more nourishing, because basically the skin doesn't get fed with water during the night. So that's why I would recommend that one there. So there's some other ingredients which are in Sonya, which I just wanted to point out to you, alongside the aloe and alongside the other things that I've mentioned. And basically that is jojoba, which is found in our scrub. Now, these are really small jojoba seed beadlets, which basically are really soft on the skin, because, believe it or not, on the high street, majority of scrubs contain eggshells. And eggshells actually are really detrimental to the skin, whereas ours, with them being jojoba, they're small, they're round, so they don't pull or tear the skin. So that's not going to age the skin. It's actually going to moisturize it while you use it. The next ingredient is cucumber. And you may or may not know this, but cucumber is a distant relative of aloe. So it has the same healing properties, soothing properties, and hydrating properties. We've then got allanton, sorry, I can never say that one, and that comes from the comfrey root, and what that basically does is it helps to heal the skin. You then have hyaluronic acid, which is basically attracting moisture into your skin and holding onto it. So it's basically like a sponge. It sponges up the water and holds onto it until you squeeze it out again. That's how I like to think of hyaluronic acid. You've then got vitamin E, which is a massive antioxidant, so brilliant for the skin. Pine bark extract, which is basically found in, let me just double check that one. Yeah, found just in the deep moisturizing cream, this one. And what this basically does is it strengthens collagen. So it's really powerful for doing that. So definitely a one on my list for anti-aging, that one. But also what you've got to imagine is that your skin on the epidermis layer, which I mentioned is the top layer, that is 10 times thinner than a piece of paper. So it's really fragile. Now, basically, inside of that layer, you've got things called lipids, which are fats. And there's 3 main fats. So there's cholesterol, ceramide, and fatty acids. Now, basically, what the ceramides do on the bottom of the screen there, ceramides 1, 3, and 6, they are in the Deep Moisture Cream. So basically, what this helps to do is to balance the skin. Now, research has shown that topically putting these fats onto your skin, it can actually massively help people with things like eczema and psoriasis. So that's a massive thing to note to your customers who do suffer from things like that, because that's massively going to help them. But what it also helps is things like blemishes, because if the skin has all of the moisture that it needs, it doesn't create as much sebum, which is the oil. So therefore, you don't get as many blemishes because the skin doesn't create as much oil, basically. So I hope that helps in terms of Sonya. I know there's quite a lot of things written down there, but as long as you've just made a keynote of some of the main ingredients and what each step of the program does and how you use it. So we're just going to move on to Fleur De Jovence now, which is basically, in French, flower of youth. So this is basically more so for the people who want to brighten their skin and want to prevent fine lines. So when you use the terminology for Fleur De Jovence, please try and use both of those words there. Now, Fleur De Jovence, it's quite similar to Sonya in a few different respects, but I'm just going to go through the key ingredients of this range. So the key ingredients are chamomile, which you may know is really soothing for the skin. Because chamomile basically is fantastic for reducing redness. It's brilliant for reducing the appearance of broken capillaries. Fabulous for soothing your skin and calming like inflamed conditions. So would be great for things like acne, eczema, psoriasis, rosacea. It's also massively an anti-inflammatory, but it's an antiseptic as well. So chamomile is a massively amazing product to have in a skincare range. The second ingredient, which is where I've got my cursor now, is this one. This is jojoba, which you've obviously seen in quite a few of our Forever products. But basically, jojoba in the Fleur De Jovence range helps to moisturize the skin. So it helps to trap in lots of moisture. It also tames inflammation, kills bacteria, and can reduce, therefore, things like acne and blemish breakouts. And it also heals the skin. So as you can imagine, if a young person or someone who's going through adult acne is using this skincare range, it's going to massively benefit them. A lot of people use the hand and face soap as a cleanser, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you do need to make sure it's massively diluted. So what I would more so suggest going forward, to be honest with you, is more so like the Fleur De Jovence cleanser or the Sonya cleanser, and try to steer away from the hand and face soap if you can. So the next ingredient that we have is vitamin C. So vitamin C is brilliant for reducing the appearance of brown spots. So as you can see, it's quite similar to Sonya before, which does the same. It boosts collagen production, giving you firmer skin. And again, reduces inflammation. It fades blemishes quickly by taking the redness out of them, which is a brilliant thing to tell people. But it also boosts your skin's defense system against UV rays, again, like what the Sonya range did. The next thing that we've got in there is vitamin B5, also known as panothetic acid. Basically, what vitamin B5 does is it moisturizes your skin, it soothes it, it heals it and regenerates it. So it's making it nice and strong, and that you've got your big cell turnover still happening. One of the other ingredients is witch hazel, which is in the toner, which I'm going to just tell you about. So that's antiseptic, really antibacterial. Brilliant for soothing and refreshing the skin. So obviously brilliant for all of your skin conditions that we always come up against as business owners, like your psoriasis, eczema, acne, blemishes, blackheads, rosacea, and maybe other things that you come across too. What you've also got in there is lemon, again, to really help with the brightening of the skin. And again, your cucumber. So like I mentioned, is a distant relative of the aloe plant. So the first thing that you would use with your Fleur De Jovence would be your cleanser. So you would use this AM and PM again. This time it's a bit different to the Sonya. You don't use this one on damp skin, you use it on dry skin. You would moisturize this in for about a minute again, and then you would basically use damp cotton wool pads or a muslin cloth and wipe away. Make sure that you wipe right down the neck as well, because the neck's part of the face. It doesn't dry the skin, this cleanser, though. It's really nice because obviously it's got a lot of nourishment in. It contains jojoba, so without drying the skin, it puts actual oils into the skin, which is fab. The next thing it does, obviously, is removes your makeup, which includes eye makeup on this one, so that's fab. The next step is to tone the skin. So this basically tones and moisturizes the skin. And what you would do is just apply this to damp cotton wool. It's an alcohol-free toner, which is a unique selling point, just note that down. And it contains aloe as the primary ingredient. Witch hazel, which I mentioned before, is brilliant for all of the things that I mentioned. Has lots of plant extract in, and it's boosted full of collagen, which is obviously anti-aging, so that's fab. What this helps to do is to tighten the pores, but again lets the pores breathe. So the third step is the firming day lotion. So this would be applied on a morning and just on a morning. And this is rich in vitamin C and E. It firms and nourishes your skin, it tightens your pores up, and it acts like an amazing makeup base. But it's also nice and lightweight. It's not going to feel really heavy on your skin during the day. The fourth step with the Fleur De Jovence is obviously the recovering night cream. So this is more rich. This is a richer texture because, again, the skin needs fed on a night time while you're asleep. So this one contains vitamin C, vitamin E, and the pro-vitamin B5, like what the Deep Sonya cream did too. Basically nourishing, helping strengthen the collagen, and helps to add the fats, just like the Sonya one did, to replenish the skin cells. And last but not least, one of our favourites in the Fleur De Jovence is the Aloe Activator and Powder Mask. Now, some people call this Botox in a bottle. I would try and get away from using that terminology if I was you, because it's not compliant. But if your clients ask you for Botox in a bottle, just say, oh yeah, the Aloe Activator and Powder Mask, I know what you're talking about. So the Aloe Activator can actually be used on its own. And you can use this as a toner. So you can use this instead of the Fleur De Jovence toner or instead of the Sonya one. And it's actually gentle enough to be used around the eyes, which I think is fab because not many toners you can. It's just pure stabilized aloe gel. So it's like cutting open the middle of the plant, similar to aloe jelly, and just literally rubbing it all over the face. So as you can imagine, it's brilliant for healing the skin. And it's really effective on its own as a cleanser. So as you can imagine, if you had an outbreak or in whatever your skin condition would be, that would be a fab thing to use. When you then combine it with the mask powder, however, it becomes a face mask. And the face mask is basically to help tighten the skin, but also to smooth and cleanse the skin. So it's a deep cleansing mask, can be used by anybody of any age. What it actually does is it stimulates the blood flow to the top surface of your skin. So if your skin does go a little bit red after using it, don't panic, that's completely normal. It contains the chamomile, like I said before, which is really soothing and calms sensitive skin. So if you've got a bit of a sensitive skin, you're absolutely fine to use it. What a little top tip that I want to give you is if you want to add some of our Forever Honey to the mask, it makes an extra special treatment for your clients. But if you're using these products in a salon, obviously that would be a brilliant thing to do because it would make for a fantastic face mask. So what I'm going to go on to talk about now are some other little bits of skincare that we always forget to recommend, I think. And I'm really passionate about these because now that I've researched them and I know a lot more about them, I would definitely recommend these to my clients now. So the first one is Marine Mask. Now, Marine Mask is basically a treatment mask, and you can use this 2 to 3 times a week. What it's going to do is deep cleanse your face and balance your skin. Now, the way it does this is basically because it contains dead sea minerals, such as sea kelp and algae, which are the 2 things that you can see on the screen. But what it does is it super moisturizes the skin and conditions it. And you've got the added benefits there of honey and cucumber. So honey gives it nourishment and feeds the skin, and cucumber soothes and heals the skin along with the aloe. A little top tip that I've been given is if you add a couple of drops of the alpha E oil, which I'm going to explain in a moment, that adds for a really nourishing hair mask. So you can tell your clients all about that too. The next one that we've got is our 3-factor. Now, I didn't really know much about this, but this is amazing. So what this is, it helps to basically retain your skin's natural moisture. It restores resilience to the skin, which basically means the elasticity stretch, and also renews the skin. So helps the cells to always be renewing constantly. Now, it's a rich combination of stabilized aloe, but you've also got in there massive amounts of collagen and hydroxy acids, which come from the apples and lemons. So basically adding like really massive vitality to your skin and real radiance. Now, you've got vitamin E in there, which is obviously a powerful antioxidant, and vitamin A. Now, vitamin A helps with maintenance of the skin, so it's really beneficial for all of your skin conditions out there, things that massively people complain about. So basically, what this helps you to do is to put a defense on your skin. So if you've got someone with a skin condition that the elements are kind of attacking all of the time, recommend R3, because this basically is going to protect that skin condition from being attacked all of the time, which I find really amazing. So yeah, definitely start recommending that one to you people who've got eczema, psoriasis and dermatitis and things like that. So the next one is Alpha E oil. This is probably my favourite thing ever because you've got so many different uses for it. But it's also what it's got inside that I love. So this is basically a replenishing agent, and it contains loads of rich ingredients designed to enhance your skin like nothing else. It moisturizes you from basically within to deliver like an ultimate smoothness for your skin and therefore a younger looking appearance. It's really light, even though it's an oil, and it basically's got fortified vitamins, including A, C, and E. It also contains coconut oil and also contains what we call soy oil too. So it's basically brilliant for your skin because your skin sometimes lacks in oils. It's a misconception that you shouldn't add an oil to an oily skin, because actually what that can help to do is to balance the skin out. As you can imagine, this isn't just for skin. It makes a fantastic cuticle oil. It also makes a brilliant hair oil when you blow dry your hair or when you're putting a hair mask in. But it just basically helps to act like a barrier for your skin too. So it's going to normalise or balance your dry skin. It's going to therefore balance oily skin to what it should be normally. It's brilliant as a shaving barrier for men. And you can add a few little drops to any of your normal forever moisturizers. A little top tip, add it to damp skin when you get out of the bath or shower, and it'll really help with scarring. So recommend that to anybody you know with scarring. It's kind of like bio oil, if you like, but better, much better. So the next one we've got is your EpiBlank. Now, I didn't really know a lot about this, I'm going to be honest, but this is a fab product. It contains aloe and a secondary ingredient called arbutin. Now, what this helps to do is to even your skin tone. So if you've got quite uneven skin tone, such as dark spots, or if you've got loss of pigmentation, this can help to support the pigment of the skin. We're not saying that this is going to cure it, but it will help to support. It will diminish dark spots, so take the darkness out of them. But it basically is fab for blemishes too, which I never ever knew, because it basically takes redness out of blemishes, which I think is brilliant. So yeah, get them put on your blemishes if you've got any. What we've then got is the eye makeup remover, which some people forget about, I think. This is basically pure aloe. But it just basically gently conditions your eyelashes, so therefore makes them grow, which is pretty awesome. And if you've got that with the volumizer mascara, God, we're all going to be like lashaholics. It'd be like wearing falsies. So you've basically not in that bottle got any oil at all, so you're not going to get that greasy residue that you normally get with eye makeup removers. It won't sting the eyes, so it's brilliant for contact lens wearers too. So recommend that to anybody who you know who wears contact lens. And really, all of us should have that because we all wear eye makeup. Well, girls, that is. So second to last, this is Allurinize, and Allurinize is our eye cream. So one does all because it basically works on reducing appearances of fine lines and deeper set wrinkles. What it does is it basically conditions your eye area. So it will help with improving the suppleness and the elasticity of the skin, because your skin around the eyes is different to the skin on your face. It's even thinner than the sheet of paper. So you've got to really take care of your eye area more so than the rest of your face if you don't want to get lines there. Now, it's packed full of different things. So you've got your aloe gel in there. You've got jojoba, which is very nourishing. You've got also coconut oil again, so really helping to put the nourishment back around the eye area. What it also does is reduces puffiness around the eyes and also tired and fatigued eyes, including your dark circles. But this is good news. This is absolutely fine for people who wear contact lens to use as well. So last but not least, not forgetting the men. Well, most guys can use all of the creams and things that we've said there. Yes, including the face masks. So recommend them to your guy mates. But Gentleman's Pride is a brilliant thing for guys to use after they've shaved. It's basically a brilliant aftershave balm, and it really helps to put defense back into the skin. Because obviously, as you imagine, men are scraping a razor blade over their face. And if the skin's quite thin on the face anyway, it's going to create quite a lot of irritation. So it contains rosemary, which is a really soothing and calming plant, but also cucumber. Like I said, cucumber is similar to aloe, so it really helps to basically cool the skin and soothe it. It contains a nice fragrance, but not overpowering, and it's alcohol-free, so it's not going to sting the skin once the man's shaved. A little top tip, girls, we can use this on our legs if we've shaved, or under our arms, which will get rid of any redness under the arms or shaving irritation. So just finishing off, I said that I would mention some trainings which are up and coming, because obviously I've learned this about the skin, but what I say is probably just scratching the surface on what Forever will tell you about the products. So I really recommend very highly that you get yourself along to a training if you can. The first one is Beauty Business Training Day, which is on the 2nd of December. And that's at Longbridge Manor, our head office. So if you've not even been to Longbridge, it would be quite a nice day to get yourself down there. The second one that we've got is Beauty Day, which is on the 7th of November, which basically goes through the Sonya, the Fleur De Jovence, and the toning kit and other things like that. And that is at Milton Keynes Product Centre. The last one is Flawless Training, which is all the makeup, because I really massively think we're not even scratching the surface on makeup either. And that is on the 17th of November at Longbridge Manor. Now, to get your tickets for that, you just log on to foreveruktickets.co.uk and just maybe post on the team page and see if we can get some car shares to get ourselves down there. So I hope that's helped, and I hope you're now going to fill your baskets full of all our lovely skincare ranges, because remember, you are a product of your product, and if you are going to do exceptionally well in the business, you need to look like you've got the aloe glow. So thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.